Good day everyone. So today, let us discuss about the logic. In this topic, we will talk about the statements and quantifiers, the logical truth tables, the types of logical statements, and what are the uses of logic in our daily life. But before that, let us define first what is the logic. So, logic comes from the Greek word logos, which means speech and reasoning. So, logic is the science of correct reasoning. Sa logic, dito pinag-aaralan natin yung mga methods and principles to distinguish correct reasoning from from incorrect reasoning. Kumbaga, it's a way of thinking on how to reason up. Si logic kasi yung mga basis ng mga mathematics reasoning na meron tayo ngayon. Logic gives us precise meaning to the mathematical statements. Yung mga rules ni logic na yan ay ginagamit to classify the validity of arguments. So now, we have learned earlier that the logic comes from the Greek word logos, which means speech and reasoning. So we have learned also that the logic is the science of correct reasoning. So now, let us know who is Aristotle. So Aristotle is the father of logic. So he provides any areas of mathematics. So as I said earlier, the task of logic is to distinguish correct reasoning from incorrect reasoning. So why is it kailangan nating pag-aralan yung logic? It's because logic is very useful in the world of mathematics. So mathematicians use logic to prove theorems and other mathematical facts. So aside from that, learning about logic would enhance our critical thinking and reasoning skills. So, let us proceed to the statements and quantifiers. So, in the English language, there are many types of sentences. A few types of it are factual statements, commands, opinions, questions, and exclamations. So, factual statement is a sentence that has a declaration, whether it is a true or false. For example, this rose is white. So, it is declaring right. So, it is an example of the factual statements. So, another types of sentence is commands. For example, get out of my face. So, this is an example of commands. Another is opinion. So, for example, chocolate cakes with cream cheese icing is the best dessert ever. So, this sentence is stating an opinion. So, that's why it is an example of opinion. Another is questions. Its example is sup with you. And the last is an exclamation. Its example is holy cow. So, in the objective study of logic, we will use only factual statements. It's because because statement is a declarative sentence that can be objectively determined to be either true or false, but not both. So, yung ginagamit lang talaga natin is yung factual statements, hindi yung commands, opinions, or exclamation, because we cannot, it is pretty hard to decide whether it is true or false. So, ngayon, we will recognize statements. So, decide which of the following are statements and which are not. So, in the part A, most scientists agree that global warming is the threat to the environment. So, ano ba to? Statements or not? Okay. So this is the solution. So in the part A, so we can understand, or we can recognize that this is a statement. So the part A and D are statements because they can be judged as true or false. Part B and C is not a statement because the part B is a questions, and part C is not also a statement because it is an exclamation. Okay? Sabi ko kanina, we can identify the sentence if it is a statement or not if the statement is has a declaration. It has we can identify if it is true or false, but not both. So try this one. Try naman natin ito. So decide which of the following are statements and which are not. So part A, those pants rock. It is not a statement because it is an exclamation. Part B, 12 minus 8 is equals to 5. It is a statement. Why? Because it is a false statement. Okay. So, part C. Give me a bottle of anything and a glazed donut to go. So, it is not a statement because it is a command. Part D. Kat can send pictures, messages with her cell phone. So, it is a statement and it is an example of a false statement. Part E. When does the party start? So, it is not a statement because it is a question. Part F also is not a statement because it is an opinion. So, okay. So now let's proceed to the simple and compound statements. So, a simple statement contains only one idea. So, its example, your jeans are torn. Tapos, Daytona Beach is in Florida. So, we can identify that it is a simple statement because it contains only one idea. So, a compound statement naman is a statement formed by joining two or more simple statements with a connective. So, yung compound statement ay merong mga connective. So, there are four basic connectives used in logic. So, we use and for the conjunction or for disjunction. If then if it is a conditional, and if and only if it is biconditional. So, here are examples of a compound statements using connectives. First example, John studied for 5 hours and he got an A. So may makikita tayong connectives dito. Yung connective na makikita natin dito is and. Sabi kanina, yung and is a conjunction. So, second example, I'm going to pass this class or I'm going to change my major. So, may makikita rin tayong connective dito. Yun ay ang or if it is a disjunction. Pangatlong example, if I get 80% of the questions on the LSAT right, then I will get into law school. So it is a conditional statement because we can see that it has a connective if then. So it is a conditional. Last example, we will win the game if and only if we score more points than the other team. So, we can see that the connectives here is if and only if. So, it is an example of biconditional. So, yun. So, ngayon naman, dumako tayo sa quantified statements. So, ano nga ba ang quantified statements? So, ang quantified statements involve terms such as all, each, every, no, none, some, there, exists, and at least one. So, here are examples of quantified statement. Every student taking philosophy this semester will pass. So, it is an example of quantified statements because it has a term every. Another example, no nursing student is also majoring in criminal justice. So, it is quantified statement also because it has a term no. So, this is an example of quantified statements. Oh, let us know what is negation naman. So, the negation of a statement is a corresponding statement with the opposite truth value. So, madali lang ma-identify yung negation because it is a corresponding statement of the opposite truth value. So, example ng statement, my car is clean. So, its negation is my car is not clean. So yung negation lang naman ito is yung parang nilagyan lang natin ng not para maging opposite siya ng statement na iyon. So, another example is, my door room is blue. So, its negation is, my door room is not blue. So, ayun, nilagyan lang ulit ng not para maging negation siya ng isang statement na iyon. So, ngayon naman, pag-aralan natin yung mga negation of quantified statements. So, if a statement contains although, so example nito, all of my meals are low in a fat. So, its negation so yung negation ng although na yon kanina ay some do not or not at all. So, for example, some of my meals are not low in fat. So, yun yung example, yung negation of quantified statements if yung statement contains all do. So, ngayon naman, if a statement contains some do, yung negation niya ay maaring none do or do not. For example, some majors require 5 years of study. So, yung magiging negation niya ay there are no majors that requires 5 years of study. So, if a statement naman contains some do not, yung negation niya ay maaring all do or everyone. So, for example, some people don't go to football games. Yung negation niya naman is example, everyone goes to football games. Yun yung kanyang negation of a statement. So, if a statement naman contains none do, yung magiging negation niya ay some do or at least one. For example, no airlines include check bags for free. Yung negation niya naman ay at least one airline allows a check bag for free. So, ngayon naman, try natin ito. Okay. Dito, try this one. Yung, i-identify natin dito yung kanyang negation of quantified statements. So, the answer, so part A, all smartphones have cameras. So, di ba yung sabi ko kanina, para ma-identify yung negation ng isang statements, dapat lalagyan natin ng para siya ay so ito yung kanyang maaaring maging sagot. So, part A, all smartphones have cameras. Yung magiging negation ng statement na ito ay some smartphones have no cameras. So, ginawa lang natin siya ng negation. Part B, no woman can win the lottery. So, yung kanyang negation ay, some woman can win the lottery. And part C, some professors have PhD. So, yung kanyang magiging negation nito ay, there are some professors that have no PhD. Yun. So, ngayon naman ay pag-usapan natin yung mga symbols for the connectives. So, if yung statements, yung type of statement, yung negation, so ito yung kanyang magiging symbolic form. Makikita nyo naman dyan yung mga symbol ng mga connectives. So, simple statements in logic are usually denoted with lowercase letters like P, Q, and R. Yung ganong symbol kanina, tingnan nyo yung nasa table, yung symbol na yan ay represents a negation. For example, write each statements in symbols. So, i-write natin yung statement na yon into a symbol. So, let P represents the statement, it is cloudy, and let Q represents the statement, I will go to beach. So, yan, makikita nyo dyan, yung, ito yung ating, i-write sa symbols, yung part A na to, part A, part B, part C, and part D. So, its solution, tingnan nyo sa baba, part A, ganyan yung kanyang magiging negation. So, I will not go to the beach. So, I will not. So, sinasabi rito na I will not go to the beach. Siya ay umu-oppose or yung sentence na to ay naka-oppose sa truth value ng statement na I will go to the beach. So, kaya siya nagiging negation of Q. Part B, it is cloudy and I will go to the beach. So, siya ay merong connective na and. So, tingnan nyo dyan sa symbolic form na and. So, part B is a conjunction of a P and Q. Part C, if it is cloudy, then I will not go to the beach. So, yung symbol na yon, yung magiging sagot niya ay ganito, yung tingnan nyo yung nasa ibaba. So, this is a conditional of P and a negation of Q. Part D naman, I will go to the beach if and only if it is not cloudy. So, ganyan yung kanyang naging symbol, if yan yung magiging sagot if we write it into a symbol. Because this is a biconditional of Q and a negation of P. So, try naman natin ito. Let P represents my dog is a golden retriever. And let Q represents my dog is fuzzy. So, tingnan natin yung nasa table. So, yung part A, my dog is not a golden retriever. So, ito ay ang negation of P. So, part B, my dog is a golden retriever or my dog is fuzzy. So, makikita natin na meron itong connective na or. That's why ganyan yung symbol. It is the disjunction of P and Q. Part C, if my dog is not a golden retriever, then my dog is fuzzy. So it is the negation of P and the conditional of P and Q. Okay. So part D, my dog is fuzzy and if and only if my dog is a golden retriever. So meron itong connective na connectives na if and only if. So, siya ay biconditional. The answer is, it is a biconditional of Q and P. Part D. My dog is a fuzzy and my dog is golden retriever. So, yung sagot ay it is the conjunction of Q and P. So, yun lamang and thank you for listening.